Nigerian women have broken glass ceilings of stereotypes, biases, and barriers and have become global development experts. Two readily comes to mind. Amina Mohammed, who is currently the fifth Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, and Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General World Trade Center. 37 years after the Belgian Convention, which Nigeria signed and ratified, actualizing the 35% affirmative action still remains a mirage. As Nigerians march towards 2023, how prepared are her women to occupy the critical and strategic positions to ensure speedy development that we are all yearning for? That will be our focus on Panorama from our Port Harcourt Network Center. I am Dibabari Siedoma Mweke. Welcome. Nigeria welcomes the decision by the United Kingdom to proscribe the indigenous people of Biafra as a terrorist group. The violent secessionist organization has long been proscribed as such in Nigeria, where it carries out the majority of its murderous activities. Government and the Striking Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, are to resume talks next week with a view to ending the prolonged closure of Nigerian public universities. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, made this known at a meeting between the government side and the striking National Association of Academic Technologists. Ngige noted that multiple industrial disputes in the education sector could have been averted if the unions in the sector took advantage of his open door policy, like the health unions, which culminated in the peace currently enjoyed in the health sector.
Let us look on their issues. See the ones who can handle immediately. The ones who can do immediately. The ones who can do affordable protection. There are certain ones that are open and told me that they're not in my hand.
Ngige made it clear that his job is to prepare an agreement after reconciliation on what unions have agreed with their employers, that is the Ministry of Education, with timelines, and monitor them to see whether the results will be there. The joint matriculation examination commenced yesterday throughout the Federation. Our correspondent Robinson Deretaide brings us the situation report of day 2 of the examination.
There are over 24 accredited JAMB centers approved for the 2022 UTME examination in Rivers State, and the exercise is said to be going on simultaneously in virtually all the centers. University of Port Harcourt and State University ICT centers are the most prominent centers in Port Harcourt, with the capacity to accommodate 250 candidates in each of the 3 sessions. The process started with the confirmation of the candidates' registration before they are allowed to check in to write the exam. Candidates and officials believe that this year's exercise will be better than last year due to the improvement in the process.
They are all responding and they administer 3 sessions. We have one at 8 o'clock, the other one 9 o'clock, while the third one is 12 o'clock. We are writing, the first set are writing now.
We started yesterday. The student came in yesterday. There were no problems. Today again, this is the second session. No incident, no problem. So far so good. We are doing well. The candidates are also cooperating.
I enjoy the environment and also the place is well organized.
I thought it was hard at first, but later it was not really hard. It's because I prepared and I already knew how to use the computer, so it was not a problem.
The centers recorded about 3 to 4 candidates who were absent for the exam in each of the sections, but there was no record of exam malpractice. A candidate reported about an hour to the exam and could not log in to write. The exercise started yesterday, 6th May, and will last for 9 days. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Darateide, NTA News.
Thank you, Robinson, for that update. It is no longer news that women are caregivers, the ones responsible to bring up the children with the right values. Beyond those roles, building tangible opportunities for women to contribute their own quota towards national development is a task that must be achieved. Ijoma Ogweke sampled opinions of religious leaders and critical stakeholders in this regard.
Over the years, the political space has been male-dominated, with insignificant number of women trying to find their fate. The political sphere of Nigeria, notwithstanding, has featured the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Obi Ezekwesili, and Dora Akunyili in leadership positions. And records show that they made remarkable marks despite challenges. With the appreciable number of women making waves in different sectors of the economy, despite all odds, the challenge of gender equity, family responsibilities, negative stereotypes around women, experts say, have hindered women from achieving their full potential.
Religion is actually the major thing. And secondly, like I said, the education is very, very important. Not too many of our women are educated because leadership is not an all-comers affair.
We should encourage every girl child. We should encourage every woman to be the woman that God has created them to be.
Although women are not relenting in attaining leadership positions, political analysts say with the needed support and encouragement, they can perform well. While attributing lack of focus and hard work to factors responsible to failure of women in leadership positions, they emphasize that the path to the top is not always easy, but with self-confidence, the road to success is sure. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
And here with me in the studio to discuss issues bordering around women in politics and leadership is Honorable Mrs. Uchi Kenu. She is 2 times former PDP women leader of Eche local government area, former vice chairman of Eche local government area, and 3 times senior special advisor to Eche local government council, former supervisory councillor for health, and she is a microbiologist by profession. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Okay. From all indications, like you're obviously one of the few very fortunate women in the political arena. How did this happen? What happened?
First of all, thank you very much for having me. I took courage and bold step. Seeing other women participate, like of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and I took courage to myself. I believe that women are good managers. If women can manage their homes, their family, their offices, women also can do better in political sector. So I took a bold step, believing that if I can manage not only my children in the house, but my husband also. You know, God is also aware that we are good managers. That was why He made us a helper to men, believing that there are areas they wouldn't have been doing better, which we are there to be helping and correcting them. So I saw all those things and I believe in myself. One thing in life is the ability for you to believe in yourself. When you believe you can do it, there is nothing that can stop you. So I saw other women out there doing it, and I say to myself, I can do better. And one of the things that encourages me also is my husband. He said to me, if other women can do it, I know you can do better. So go into the world, do well, and do exploit in the political sector. And that is why I am doing well till today.
That's a very good one, man. So that brings me the question of the men. The men are there. So how has it been coping with the men, being a woman in the midst of men? Because I know you had more men around you than women. So how was it?
Well, it has not been easy. You know, there is this common view from the men. They do say we are weak
car vessel, what? In fact, we are just a helpmate. There are things and there are extent we cannot be able to attend to. It has not been easy, but like I said before, I so much believed in myself that I can do it. So I apply the wisdom where necessary. Some areas they will like, oh, women can't do this one. Like the area, the aspect I came from, they will only tell you, they will always tell you, no, women cannot rule us as a council chairman. Women cannot rule us as a governor. But if we can manage all these sectors, it was before you were hearing that women education ends in the kitchen. But as we speak now, in the education sector, we have women there. Women are the vice chancellors. Women are, we are heading many offices and we are doing well. Be able to use wisdom, apply wisdom to cope, and it has been moving well with us.
So why is it that women, in spite of how educated some of them are, they still decide to remain at the back seat? They are not forthcoming. They don't want to come out the way some of you have done. There are some of them that are still well educated, well enlightened, but they are still there, quite intelligent.
There is something they talk about politics. They don't believe that politics is something else, unlike going to the offices, unlike going to school to teach, unlike working in the company. Some feels going to politics is an ideology of going to mingle with the men. I have interacted with some of the women, and they told me boldly, no, when we go out, they will be looking at us as if we have gone out there to mingle ourselves with the men. That has made them to be at the back seat. So we are like coming at the front page to tell them that isn't the ideology and the view regards to politics. In politics, you communicate with people. Part of education is part of interaction. You interact with people, people interact with you. You move on. I believe now they are coming out en masse to play this game called politics. They have been encouraged by us. Yes.
2023 is just by the corner.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? How do we change this narrative of women, those of you that are in position? What is expected of you? How do you bring them out? How do you bring these women out so that we can change the narrative of these women taking the back seats?
Thank you.
In this era.
Like in Rivers State, His Excellency, the governor of Rivers State, has made it easier for the women. The 35% affirmative is working in Rivers State. 23 local government vice chairmen are women. The fourth chief justice of Rivers State was a woman. Chairman of Appeal Court was a woman. He has made it easy for us so we can take such step and move on. Now 2023 is at the corner. You are hearing, for me, it's a speculation because I am not there. The men are gathering money to purchase a form for their fellow men. And I sat down and asked a question. Women, where are we? What can we do now to change the narrative? One, let me tell you, don't be shocked. Women don't believe in their fellow women.
Okay.
They criticize their fellow women a lot. If they can take off such idea from them or mentality from them, come together, believe in themselves, gather together, we can also raise money to purchase a form. Let me also tell you, a woman purchased a form under the platform of APC, presidential form, 100 million naira is encouraging. But believe me when I tell you for free, don't be surprised the vote she will get might be only her. But we have taken a bold step now that wherever any sector at all, a woman comes out to politics or purchase any form, we will support a woman.
Just a word of advice to women and our men out there, just finally.
My word of advice for my fellow women out there, please believe in yourself. Have courage that as a good manager, you have been managing in your homes, you can manage in political sector.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Uchi Kenu, for coming on the program. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talon, is intensifying advocacy for more inclusion of women in political positions. In line with the ideal that charity begins at home, the minister, alongside other women activists, starts with the ruling party APC. Ngozi Tekinokyo completes the report.
The Minister, Pauline Talon, described the visit to APC Party Secretariat as solidarity to congratulate the chairman over his recent victory at the APC National Convention and to seek his fatherly advice in achieving the cause of Nigerian women. The interaction, however, did not end without this request for women.
When there are 12 members of House of Assembly, take 8 and give us 4. No, too much. No. 1/3. Only.
The national chairman of All Progressive Congress, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, commends the minister for her resilience in championing the case involving women, especially in decision-making corridor.
You made case, it's not just one case for women.
Briefing journalists after her audience with the APC chairman, the minister states that the time to change the narrative is now, as the support of Nigerian women to any political aspirant will be based on the positions to be allotted to women. With the commitment of the minister and other activists, expectations are high for Nigerian women. In Abuja, Ngozi Tekinokyo, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. When we return, Panorama continues. Stay tuned.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
The Supreme Court of Nigeria has resolved the dispute between Rivers State and Imo State governments over the ownership of the Akini and Agbiti oil field and granted ownership of all the disputed oil wells in Akini and Agbiti oil field to Rivers State government. Governor Wike made this known at a stakeholders meeting held at Government House, Port Harcourt. Ogediyenkwe completes the report.
Disputes between the Rivers State government and Imo State government over the ownership of Akani and Mbidi oil field has lingered since 1999, although the then governors worked out political modalities of sharing the 13% derivation proceeds from the oil wells at 50% each.
Surprised by the surreptitious plots and collusive actions of the government of Imo State under Emege Ihedioha and the National Boundary Commission to overreach the legal interests of Rivers State in the disputed oil wells. And so, the Supreme Court has finally and conclusively resolved the dispute and granted full and exclusive ownership of all the disputed oil wells in Akiri and Middle field to Rivers State.
The Rivers State government, not satisfied with the development, went to court. The matter has finally been laid to rest, with the judgment of the Supreme Court granting Rivers State government full and exclusive ownership of all the disputed oils in Akane and Mbidi oil field. By this judgment, the Rivers State government becomes the rightful owner of Akane and Mbidi oil field. In Port Harcourt, Ogediyenkwe, NTA News.
In a swift move to address fuel scarcity in Rivers State, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested some suspects who are in the habit of diverting petroleum products meant for the state to other states of the Federation. Robinson Dratide has these and other achievements of the command in the last 1 month.
Intelligence reports show that some dealers are allegedly diverting petroleum products meant for Rivers State to other states. Officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps at the borders apprehended 2 suspects who were on their way to discharge 50,000 liters of PMS meant for Rivers State to a neighboring state. Rivers State Commandant of the NCDC, Abu Tamboa, briefing journalists, Public Relations Officer Olufemi Ayodele says the act is a move by dealers to create artificial petroleum scarcity, but for the agency's proactiveness.
The anti-vandal patrol team in charge of the border areas swung into action, and these 2 suspects were apprehended.
The Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder also handed over 17 suspects and 6 wooden boats loaded with diesel and kerosene to the NCDC for proper prosecution.
We are using this opportunity to relate to the general public to desist from every act of economic sabotage.
The Corps commended the synergy between security agencies and urged the public not to relent in providing credible information to end illegal oil bunkering in Rivers State. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Darateide, NTA News.